Petty wacky gold panning with no friggin' sluice. Take one. Alright, so got some of the gold, the dirt in there. Put some water in. Going like this. Stratifying everything. So what happens is the gold is a specific gravity of 19.1. So it's the heaviest thing in this pan. It should go to the corners, is where you want it to go to. And then you take in, you wash off the overburden gently. And you want to do it where these lines are here. That's your like buffer zone. So hopefully the gold, if you have the in there, it doesn't go past that, which is why you do a lot of stratification all the time. So you can't really over stratify. Watch the corners especially, because the corners are where the gold shows up first.
Right. And what is stratification?
You're mixing it up. So you're getting all the gold, if there's any gold in here, to go to the bottom.
FYI.
It's like
For the
right,
audience.
right there. Yep, see gold already, right there. Little flecks of gold.
Oh, flex.
Yeah, so by stratifying this, we'll get those specks to go to the bottom. And by tapping it, it helps push the stuff to the bottom even further in the corners. This is what you want. Oh, what you also want is a snuffer bottle. Like that friggin'
Oh,
thing.
no.
Nope, I did not.
Where is it?
By my nightstand, there's a bottle about this long with a tube sticking out about that long. It's a clear
Right.
plastic bottle. Well, it's cloudy, like it's this color.
Right.
Here. That's the snuffer bottle. You use that to get the gold out of here.
Right.
Ah, I am. Grandpa wasn't half a retard. He had all his stuff figured out by now. Sluice would be working. Sluice had a problem where the speed controller is not working correctly. I don't know if it's a defect from the factory or a defect in my brain preventing me from seeing the obvious. I don't know, if you have 30 years of electronics, I know what the hell I'm doing. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's all just a dream. Maybe I'm gonna be a sanitation engineer. I don't know. Advice to children, grandbabies especially, don't get old. And that BS about, oh, the best years of your life are yet to come, that's BS. The best years of your life are now. Whatever stage of life that is, where you can still enjoy life and do things and not have to plan your day around pain or pain medications or pills. This is something Grandpa does, believe it or not, to relax. I know. You're probably in shock going, really? This doesn't look relaxing. Well, it is to me. I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy the hunt for the gold, finding the gold, and, seeing how much I can get. It's fun. All right, Grandma's back with the snuffer bottle. Let's keep on going with this. All right, so you see the gold there in the corner still. Now we don't have much in there. We got maybe a tablespoon, so we'll do now is stratify it again. A little love tap. And now I'm gonna swish the water in here a little bit.
The snuffer bottle sucks out the gold.
It'll suck up anything that you want to get. Ideally, you want to do gold. See all that right there? All that gold in the corner? That's what it's
Yeah.
going for. There's actually a lot of gold in there. And the big problem with this is, anything that have black sands, the black sands are unfortunately almost as heavy as the gold, so you really gotta do this quite a bit to separate the gold from the black sands to get what you're trying to get. You get to a point where you realize there's no more, oh, I need that white bottle right there. Where there's no gold in the sand that you're working on, what you can do is take your second snuffer bottle, which is this one.
Do you need this?
No, there's not much black sand in this, so there's not any much sense in doing it. With this bottle here, you can clean up the pan. So you know at the bottom here, there's no gold. We've already established that. Now just re-stratify again, with a little extra water, just to get everything washed on down there. A little water in there. Alright. Swishy, swishy. If we had better lighting, this would be so much easier to see. But one good thing with gold is, if it is gold, whether you're in shade or the sun, it glows the same. That's how you can tell if it's gold, or if it's mica, or if it's fool's gold. Not that first pan. Huh?
Next time you can pull the pin that way and do that so they can see look around.
I'm not left-handed. Well, I switched places with him probably.
Sorry, sorry.
And my left hand's my stronger hand because of my condition, but the right hand's the one that's all the fine motor skill stuff. No, I was thinking, if I got one of those vibrating, like they have in chemistry class, the trays that vibrate, don't
Yeah.
go together, I can just set it on there. If they do the same thing as this, if they do the same thing as specification or not. Because this isn't wicked hurt, but if I did this for a couple hours, I'd feel it the next day.
Oh, yeah, like last time.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that happened today.
Yeah, Grandpa's trying to stay out of the hospital. If I had frequent flyer miles for all the times I've been in the hospital these past 3 years, I could travel the earth like 4 times over. I spent almost a half a year last year in a hospital bed. The other quarter of the year in my own bed. Couldn't move, couldn't walk, couldn't get out of bed. Couldn't wipe my own ass, nothing. That's why I say, kids, when they see, the best years of life you get to come are full of crap. Best years of your life, whatever stage you are, that you can still do things and have fun and enjoy yourself. That's the best stage of your life. Oh, and retirement sucks. I hate retirement. Not that I don't have a purpose in life. I just have a purpose in life. It's just not the purpose I was born to do. And your health goes bad, you gotta find things out quite a time. And this is the one of the few things that I found by mistake actually that I like. Because of my kidney disease, I can't sleep. If I sleep every 3 or 4 days, that's a plus. But for the most part, I don't sleep. I cat nap, get a couple hours in, if that, and then I'm up the rest of the day. So I was going through videos one day and I found this gold penny thing. I'm like, well, people still do that? And I was watching the guy, that's pretty cool, I can probably do that. I watched the guy for like 6 months before I finally thought, you know, I think I should try that. Like, those are pretty interesting. And your grandmother and your mother and your sisters all got together and got me a gold penny kit. And got me some actual dirt. And I loved it. And I've been hooked ever since. And I have been practicing different types of dirt from around the country. So God willing, I eventually get a kidney and get healthy. I can go to these different places and pan for gold. And because I've done this ahead of time, I already know what kind of dirt I'm dealing with and how to change my panning skills accordingly. So there is a, you know, an exit to all this, you know, besides being fun. I mean, you're not going to get rich doing this because you never, I mean, you rarely get your money back on your investment. It's more of a hobby. I mean, there are pay dirts that you can get that you can check out the return on investment. If you're doing more than like 80%, that's good. I try and gravitate towards the ones that are 90% or better. That way I'm not totally out of money, but I can have a good time. And I'm smart. What I do, I use my eBay points on eBay card to buy this stuff. So I don't buy a lot of this dirt. I just get it from my card because I use my card for my pay my bills, my well, not my mortgage, like my car payments, insurance, utilities, groceries, anything that they'll points up. That's what I use it for. Can't stress enough, if you're gonna have a credit card, make sure you have a credit card that gives you really good points. Because that too is a return on investment. Because you're investing in that card to treat you well and to take care of you. And you know, you'll have a lot of scam card places out there. There's a lot of good ones. Your parents can help you figure it out. Or if your parents aren't around, there's always the Bank of Dad that can help you figure it out. Because Grandpa, one thing, I know money.
My credit card, I get flyer points.
Yeah. Grandma flies around the world. I think I'll pay for anything. Or else it has reduced airfares or whatnot.
Yep.
Alright, so here's a situation, you know, nothing's in this dirt down here. You're gonna wash all this away, all this overburden. So that way you can focus on where the gold is. And with less overburden in the way, you can see the gold a lot easier. You can get it to where you want it to be a lot easier. Now we're finding a lot of flakes, which is fine. It's still gold. I'll take flakes. You know? Nothing wrong with that.
They add up just like anything else.
That's right. That's some trying to escape. Sometimes the gold is so thin that it does float. So you really gotta be careful. Make sure you got everything. You dump your pin dirt here. Because I have gold all the way down here in some places, so I gotta try and get it back up where it belongs. And the name of the game is get every speck, without small. Like Grandma just said, it adds up. It does. And it's like anything else, don't leave food on the table. Take everything. And always pan your tailings the second and third time. Can't stress that enough. Good pans. It's mostly flakes, but a lot of good flakes.
Can you get one?
This is Sluice Boy Prospect. I like them. They're from California, I think.
So you just dump flakes into there?
Huh?
You just dump flakes into there?
No, I dump the flakes. I suck them up into here.
Okay.
That's where all the excess tailings go, because I'll go through these tailings again eventually, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. That's what the sluice is for we had today we're supposed to be using, that we're not using because it doesn't want to work. So I've got to do this by hand, which is fine, I can do it by hand. When it comes to the ultra fine stuff that I can't see because of my eyes, that's where the sluice comes in. And I'm pretty disappointed that it didn't work. I mean, it worked once. I hooked it up without the controller, and that water spit out like a cannon. So it definitely works. But then I put the controller on, and it's not doing anything. So I wonder if the controller's bad. If that's the case, I just gotta get another one. But as your mother and aunt and uncles will tell you, nothing pisses me off more than having things set up and then I have to wait. See, Grandpa Wacky was in manufacturing for a long time. I ran 3 different plants across the city. Timing was everything. My brain was so fine-tuned to a clock, I could tell you what time it was without looking at a clock. I could sit in my office and I could listen to the machines run, and I can tell when the machine is done across the plant, and the plant was the size of a football field. Coming from that background, where time is money, it definitely irks me to have to run into problems like this. Person that sold the kit, decent guy, I'm sure he knows what he's doing, but you'd think he would have put something in there, like a schematic, on how to hook this thing up, and there wasn't. So, because of that, I'm kind of like having to do extra duty here to try and get this thing working, because I definitely want to use this thing. I bought it for a reason. This is a Father's Day gift from your mother and your aunt. Like Elmer Fudd.
What is that?
What gold pieces? Yeah, Sluice Boy Prospecting. It's a good name. Definitely, this stuff is good material. Clutch Gold is another one. That's my favorite. And then the ones your parents got me for Father's Day is also a favorite of mine because you can customize. So That's nice. I can't wait to do that one. That'll be the next video I do, but this one here I want to do with Grandma. Because whatever we find, Grandma gets to take home with her. Yep, I got a brand new gold pan for you. And we'll tape it to the gold pan with a picture of you and me swearing at this pan. And it'll be Grandma's souvenir. It's nice. Every pan's got gold. I love it. A lot of times you'll play 4 or 5 different pans and find nothing. So this is good.
How's your hands holding out?
Good, good.
Shoulders?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just like this. All right, this is the next classification of material. This is the medium stuff. This is where we find any nuggets, if there's any nuggets in here. So, I mean, a lot of times you're not going to find nuggets. You'll find flakes in the fine gold, but nuggets are nice. I found some nuggets in my time. You know, some, I think the biggest one was actually $0.5 grand, which is pretty good. That's pretty nice. And I also have gold ore, which I was going to do a Grandma too while she's here, but we're not going to have time. And my foot surgery happened sooner rather than later, so that's why I'm limited what I can do.
Pay attention to your shoulders.
Yeah, I am. Just I'm doing it like this. Try not to be as animated as I usually am. Come on, gold buckets. Oh, there we go. You got a nugget.
Really?
Right there.
Look at
That's considered, well, considered a picker, but some consider a nugget. I'm gonna call them nuggets.
That's cool.
What do you got, two? Well, a lot of times people wonder where gold comes from.
Yeah.
Gold doesn't just come from the ground as gold. What happens is the sulfites and stuff have to get eroded in order for the gold to have a place to develop. And gold is the chemical reaction that happens when sulfides evaporate the natural rock around it. And then the gold, well, not gold itself, but chemicals that make up the gold, I mean, high heat and pressure take its place. And that's where gold comes from. That's why they can make gold man-made, but man-made gold, just 1 gram, was like $1 million to make. So obviously it's not cost effective to make gold.
Yeah.
All right, now the medium classification. And a lot of times the stuff gets stuck in the screen, so you definitely got to go through and gently scratch the screen a little bit, all that any gold that might be in there out. This is the last of our pay dirt. So imagine the old days. The original gold rush is in North Carolina, not California. every state, with the exception of Florida, because we're a peninsula, it's mostly just a big sandbar, has gold. Some more than others, like California, Alaska, North Carolina, Colorado, Idaho border. So those, if you're gold hunting, you go find the gold. But imagine doing this as a living back in the day, and you want to talk about a ripoff. You think Walmart's bad? My God. If a gold pan costs you 50 cents in Philadelphia, it costs you 25 bucks in the gold fields. They jacked up them prices like you wouldn't believe. And there was no government regulation back then, so it was, free market, whatever the market will bear. So can you imagine traversing the Yukon, you get to the gold fields, you come across somebody who's got water, and this is their prices back then. A gallon of water would cost you $5. A gallon of water doesn't cost $5 today. And you want to talk about taking people to the cleaners, holy shit.
Thank you.
So really, it wasn't so much the gold miners that made a lot of money, as it was the gold mining suppliers that made money. I forget the famous guy's name, was one of the most famous, well, infamous ones really. I mean, he really took advantage of these poor people. And believe me, if you weren't poor on the way there, you were poor when you got there.
What did this guy do?
Oh, well, he just overcharged everything.
Oh.
Gold pan, it costs 50 cents in Philadelphia, it costs you $5 over there. A glass of water, which probably costs a penny, they're charging $5 for. And they charge it right on the trail, so you have no place to go. Unless you got a heat source, you can melt your snow and make it right then and there. All right. Now there's a fleck here that looks like gold, but it's not. It's mica. And you can tell because gold does not float. Because we put jet dry in the water,
Yeah.
and it jet dries as surfactant, and that makes anything on the surface float to the bottom. So if you're panning, you find gold wisping around the top of the water, it's probably not gold. If you're not 100% sure, just add a few drops of jet dry, and if it still floats, it's not gold.
That's the way you can get rid of a lot of the trash, right?
Yes. All right. That was it. So much good in there. Now I just have to dry it out. I forget to try and separate as much of the black sands as I can from the gold. Because even though I was careful not to get too much black sand, you always get something. Cannot be avoided. Which is why you're constantly doing the gold panning thing. Keep the gold up there.
Yeah.
Keep the gold up there without having all that stuff in your way. I got a tenth of a gram there. It's not too
Jim?
bad. Yeah. And $9 bag of dirt, it's pretty good. Other than being with my family, this is Grandpa's happy place. Family comes first. Gold penny comes second. Well, he makes me money comes second. My kid. That's the Scottish in me. Things going wrong, that's the Irish in me. Love for cooking and eating. It must be Italian in me.
And ice cream.
Huh?
And ice cream.
And ice cream. All right. Let's go what we found.
Can you show the picture?
I have no idea. That's the gold we found right there. I don't know if Grandma can get that to get better than that, but that's what we got. About 1/10 of a gram.
Think they can
That's,
see it?
that's pretty good. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that thing focuses or doesn't focus. Yeah, so that's what we found gold penny. That all came from that little bag. The little bag was probably a 6 ounce. So,
How much do you think that is?
money wise, $5. Now I've got to go to my room, put it in the crucible, let it dry out.
What's the crucible?
It's just a white bowl that I use to dry the stuff out in.
You just named it the crucible.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a sub named the crucible?
Well, there's a movie in the crucible. I mean, eventually I do want to get my own smelting machine, which I have a real crucibles. A crucible is something that can go into a furnace, and it's how you melt steel, or in this case, gold, into ingots. Come on, you stubborn gold. Try and hide, I'll get you. There we go. All right. And that is that. That's gold panning. Hopefully next time I'll have the sluice up and running. Worst case scenario, I've got a backpack sluice I can set up on the lawn. That uses the garden hose. But this is the fine stuff that I'd rather use. All right, so I am done. Grandma's here now, so great grandma and I are done panning. Or get a few beers, have some wings, and something like that.
I don't think I'll be traveling to Alaska anytime soon to find some up there.